Good, good. You have your microphone on. You have to activate.
Yes. Now you can see me.
Now we can see you. Yes. Good to see you. I wanted to ask you, after you got COVID, is everything okay with you, or do you have any consequence?
Yes, I have a lot of consequence.
Yes. What happened?
I have yes, I have a problem in my liver. I have lacks of memory. So
Mhm.
so,
And when did
so I'm
sorry, and when did COVID happen to you? How long back?
the beginning of January.
Okay, so welcome to level 3. Let's start with that. I want to congratulate you because for you being here right now with the difficulties, I know that the platform is not the most friendly way to learn Reiki, but it shows your commitment. It shows that you're definitely wanting to continue in this path, to have something more in your life, no? Like to really develop this spiritual side of yourself. So really thank you for your trust, for being here. And I want to congratulate you because it shows that you definitely would like to evolve. So that's nice. Um, in this module or in this level, we are going to try to apply Reiki every day in our daily life. It has to become our way of living. Before, for example, the first level, as we mentioned, was basically self-healing. So we were like understanding and changing some thought patterns and getting to know that there was another way of conceive situations, people, everything, that there is a different reality. In the second level, we went a little bit deeper, not in the physical way, but in the thoughts. So remember that we work in affirmations, we work in reprogramming the mind. We were a little bit deeper in the emotions, and remember that we saw Seihiki and how to change to come back from those negative emotions, negative levels. Just to ask you something, what is the easiest way to get out of those negative um, frequencies or these negative emotions? What is the easiest way? Somebody that tell me, please. You're muted, Priyanka.
To change it with a positive thought or a positive affirmation.
With positive affirmations is one of the way, but that is not the easiest one. Because with that, you definitely have to work. You have to write it down, or you have to have them very clear, and you have to be disciplined, saying it and saying it and saying it and saying it until your subconscious believes it, until your subconscious change the belief for knowing. You don't believe, but you know you are different. You embrace them and you become it, the affirmations. So it is not the easiest way, but we have one very easy among our 5 principles.
Not to judge.
That is not one principle, but that one is very important. Gratitude, yes, exactly. I'm feeling terrible, but today I am grateful because have the opportunity to see you. You know, this is terrible, whatever is going on, but today I have my glasses and they're not broken. Thank you. So gratitude is the easiest way to get out of these negative emotions, thoughts. Why? Because you focus your attention, in terms of thoughts, you focus your attention in something different. And in terms of emotions, it has such a high vibration that pulls you up, that makes you like levitate, like feeling different from those negative emotions. It's like woo, putting you in another place. So that's our biggest tool, and we have to practice it every day. And that's why I'm telling you that Reiki has to become your way of living. No? responsibility of not having bad thoughts. Responsible of not having bad thoughts, then you have to be all the time paying attention to what you are thinking. Oh, no, this what I'm thinking is not good. It's not driving me anyway. I'm just will get sick. Remember that negative thoughts and negative emotions have a consequence in the physical body. Do you remember how this works? Sumi, would you like to tell me how thoughts and emotions makes us sick?
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Um, Negative thoughts and emotions, I think it's about your chakras, right? Because they
Yes, it
affect,
has to do with that.
yeah, it especially in the stomach, or I mean, am I in the right track?
You were with the chakras.
Okay. Yeah, that's how, I mean, I feel that's how it affects, because it takes a toll on you.
Okay. Somebody that would like to compliment Sumi's appreciation.
Also, it basically lowers our vibration.
Yes.
When our vibration is low, we are more prone to diseases.
But there is a cycle. There is a cycle. It's a mechanism.
But also, like, we know that some negative thoughts actually release negative hormones and stuff in our body, which
It's
like
more that way.
and stuff like that, which actually then physically creates this imbalance in the body.
Exactly. Let's remember that, because that is the key. So why I have to be responsible of my thoughts and emotions is because I need to understand that whatever I grab of this reality is through my five senses. Five senses: smell, listening, sight, taste, touch. That's how I discover what is this, no? So I say, it's smooth, it's white because I can see it, or I'm not gonna try it, but that's another way to get to know it. I can smell it, and I identify the smell of paper. So I have, through my nervous system, because the one that it is in charge of bringing the information out through my senses and interpreted in my brain is the nervous system. So I get this information in my brain, and then I go to what Malika says, I make a judgment. I decide if I like the smell of paper. I decide if I like the size of this notebook. I decide if this smooth cover is nice or it is not for me, it's cold, it's hot. I make a judgment according to my expectations, my values, my systems of beliefs, my education, and all that information that I have stored in my subconsciousness. So we have the information of the reality going to the brain through the five senses, nervous system, interpreted in the brain by all my background and my knowledge and everything. And then I give a judgment. That judgment that happens in my brain goes to the chakras, to the endocrine system. Because we live in a world of duality, that judgment puts me in a perception of I like it or I dislike it. I feel it's good or I feel it's bad. For example, if I just go with the notebook like this and I feel it too cold and right now it's too cold, well, it's going to be, we can classify it as a negative sensation. In reality, it is not a negative sensation. It is a neutral sensation. But my brain and my expectations interpreted it as a negative thing for me in that moment. Because maybe if I am in the beach suffering of heat and I put the notebook here and it is cold, it's going to be a pleasure sensation, a pleasant sensation. So the reality is something subjective. It depends on who lives it. It has nothing to do with the reality itself that is always neutral. But according of the moment, according to what you have in your brain, according to what is going on with your inner world, you decide if the reality is positive or negative for you. And I remember that in level 1, I put you the following example. Somebody is jumping out in a parachute. So the mom of the guy that is jumping is suffering. Oh my God, he's going to be killed. I don't want him to die. She's suffering. So what happens? She's interpreting the reality. She's judging with her brain, and she's with her endocrine system, with her chakras, producing bad hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, because she's really worried. In the other side, his best friend that is also witnessing his jump in the parachute, he's saying, oh, he's my hero, he's so brave, it's so good to see him like that, I want to be like him, I want to do the same. He is having the same neutral event, witnessing the same neutral event, interpreting with his brain, making a judgment, putting it in his endocrine system with all these emotions, positive hormones, serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, whatever, according to what he is feeling. So every thought creates a judgment in this world of duality. And every judgment creates a feeling. And the feeling emits a hormone, physical, chemistry, that affects you. So if every day I hate someone, if I feel hatred, I feel rancor, I feel envy, if every day I feel the same, in the long term, you will get sick because you are delivering these negative hormones. So remember that we mentioned that Nelson Mandela used to say that when you hate another one, you think you are condemning that person or that you are making something bad to that person. But in reality, you are drinking a poison every day. If I hate somebody, the problem is not for that person. The problem is my inner chemistry that will kill me in the long term. So Sumi was right when she mentioned the chakras, but she was not totally right when she mentioned the stomach, because the chemistry of the body goes to wherever the feeling belongs to. So for example, if my problem is rancor, or my problem, the hormones will accumulate in the heart. If my problem is worry, the chemistry is going to accumulate in the stomach. If my problem is that I cannot accept the little details in my life, then I'm going to have a problem in the little toe. The little toe represents the details in life. So if you hit or have a problem in your little toe, get to know that your attention is too much in the details, in things that are not really important. If I twist my ankle, it means that you're not being very flexible and that you cannot continue in your path. So remember, every part of the body expresses emotions or thoughts. So it is not only in the stomach. Everything is related with everything in the macro world and in the micro world. The macro world is our body. It's our own universe. But every part of the body is listening, is expressing, is giving us a message. And with the meditations and the attention that we give to our thoughts, to our emotions, and to our physical body, getting to know the physical body is the easiest part, because it's what we know. Is the pain, is maybe this is scratching, or maybe I can see that I have red pimples, whatever, no? It's something that we get to know, and that it is easier because of that, because it's something tangible. Paying attention to your body. So when we say, let's close our eyes and be still, you can feel, is your opportunity to get in contact with your physical body, to communicate with your physical body, to discover all these sensations of your physical body. And when you discover what is going on with your body, you can get to know what happens with you when you enter into a place. What happens with your energy when I enter into a place? because my body is going to give me some sensations, but because I learn how to communicate with it, I'm able to listen to it, even though if I am paying attention to the outer world. Is start this double communication, your inner world with the outer world at all times. So because I learn how to pay attention to my body, I will understand what happens when somebody comes next to me. How do I feel physically with this person? I feel tense, so maybe I will go like, every time that I am contracting a muscle, or my thoughts or my emotions are not okay. So just pay attention to that. For example, if I am listening to you, but I'm like this, what does it mean? It means that I am protecting myself, that I'm putting a barrier. If I'm listening to you, but let me see if you can see my feet. But my feet are pointing out to the door. Can you see? So I'm not stepping like this. I'm stepping with one foot to the door. The direction of my foot is showing that I want to go there, that I don't want to listen to you. Or maybe I want to listen to you, but I want to go there. So there is a lot of our physical expression that has to do with our subconscious. And remember that Reiki and all this process of spiritual growth has to do with bringing to conscious those things that we have in the unconscious mind. For many things, for self-knowledge, for healing, for evolving, for growing. We are taking out all these of the subconscious. We have to overcome to be bigger than our personality. The personality is those limitations that we put in our real self. Personality is a group of thoughts, how I think, is a group of feelings, how I feel, how I interpret the reality. But remember, all that is subjective. It's not the real world. It's your reality, but your reality is a little thing as compared to the union of all the perceptions of the rest. So I want that you have that very clear for this level.
Adri, I have one question. So you the way you said, standing on the door with the leg like this, your hands like this, these are physical characteristics to show how you are behaving. How do you judge the whole vibrations concept? Sometimes when you meet somebody, you get good vibrations from them, and sometimes you get they may talk to you very well, but you just don't get good vibrations. You get negative vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do you explain that?
Okay, that person is a master. Remember that everybody that crosses our path is a master?
Yeah.
But when you feel that negativity in that other person, there is something of that person that yourself doesn't accept.
Okay.
So the point here is to analyze or to comprehend what is it that that person has that doesn't commune with me. For example, yes, that person is very nice, but there is always the but. I don't trust her. Why? I don't know. It's just maybe she smiles too much, or maybe she looks in a way, but there is something inside you that tells you that you don't trust her or that person.
What is this inside us is my question. What is this thing? How is it too deep?
No, no, it is not actually too deep. Remember that we have a physical body,
Yeah.
an emotional body, a mental body. So these are like the three bodies that makes our personality. And then we have a spiritual body that goes beyond our physical. Actually, the second two layers go outside your physical body. It's like my thoughts here, my emotions even here. And that's why somebody can sense my emotions like 1 meter away, because that body is bigger. So your emotional body also can get that information of the environment, can feel how a place feels, how a person feels. It's another way of getting to know the world, not with our five senses. That is called the intuition.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm telling you it's not that deep. We can go very deep in actually in level 3 when we start talking about the spiritual body, because that involves different dimensions. But in this third dimension, we have 3 bodies, very clear, and we have it very clear.
And what are the auras? What part, the aura that we have around us, that's part of which body? Like energetic?
The aura involves many bodies because it involves the 3 of the 3 that I mentioned, mental, emotional, and physical of the third dimension, but the aura also includes the auric body, which is the spiritual body, I forgot here. Well, there are other 3 layers: astral body, etheric body, and that complement. Actually, there are as many bodies as you can see, but in this reality, we can get to know these other bodies, subtle bodies, that accumulate, for example, your Akashic records, which is the history of your soul, the protection or the body that you're using, your Merkaba, to see how if it is activated or not. So like these bodies are a little bit more subtle. So later on we're going to go a little bit deeper on that. But very easy is get to know at least your 3 bodies: the physical, the emotional, and the mental. The physical because it's tangible. The emotional because at the end it goes to your physical body. When you say, I am in pain because I lost somebody, where do you feel it? I feel it here in my heart. Here in my heart. So it's something that at the end, the emotional body is so linked with your physical body that you get to express it in a way, no? And the same with your thoughts. How do you feel? A mind that is very full of thoughts that can't stop is a body that at the end of the day is super tired. When you are in combat with your thoughts, like this and that and this and that, and especially those thoughts that are the most dangerous, the ones that are repetitive and negative, sometimes we enter into these loops of negative thoughts. Those are super dangerous. It completely drains your energy. At the end of the day, you are exhausted. And if those thoughts are repetitive for more days than only one day, but let's say a month, you are having fear of something, it's very probable that you reduce your immune system and that you get sick for something. Negative thoughts in the long term, repetitive, are your worst enemy. And the worst enemy that you can have is inside your brain. Remember the legend of the 2 wolves? One wolf is good and the other one is bad. And which will win? The one that you feed. How do you feed it? With your attention. If I pay attention to these negative thoughts, I'm feeding the bad wolf. When we decide that we're going to be responsible of thoughts and feelings because we understand the consequence that it has in our daily life, that is a fact, scientifically proven, the correlation between thoughts, emotions, and the physical body, we start living in consciousness. That's a difference between being asleep and living in consciousness, living awake. And it is that you have the responsibility of getting to know, of deciding what you're going to think and what you're going to feel, because you know the consequences. And that's the second way in which Reiki becomes a way of living. So we have two ways of living. Hi, Priyanka. Are you listening?
Yeah.
Great. So this is important. Save it in your mind. I will ask her later. We have seen two ways of living, as Reiki being the way of living. Which one's the first one?
Imbalance.
No, that is not Reiki. It's balance.
Gratitude, right?
Gratitude.
Oh,
Gratitude. That is the first one. And what is the second one that I just mentioned it?
In consciousness.
Consciousness, yes. And what means consciousness? Responsibility of thoughts and emotions. And obviously,
also being present.
sorry?
Being present.
Being present, yes. Because when do you have responsibility of your thoughts and of your emotions? When?
Every day, every minute, every second.
Exactly, in the present moment. There is no way to have a consciousness of your past. That is gone. There's no way of having consciousness of your future. It doesn't exist. You know that you can have your mind in the future, and it is your decision if you decide to visualize what you want to live and your dreams and everything, which is great. But it is also your decision to say, I'm going to worry about this that has not happened. I'm going to suffer for this that has not happened. All this doesn't exist. Future doesn't exist. So that is why the importance of being responsible with our thoughts. When, as Yolanda mentioned it very well, every moment, that is living in consciousness. All the time, I am paying attention to what I am feeling physically, emotionally, and what I am thinking all the time. So if my muscles are tense, I am not okay. If I have a pain, I am not okay. Something in my mind, something in my emotions is talking. Okay? That's the second way in living in Reiki. So for this level, we are going to see another symbol, the symbol of the masters. It is called Daikomyo. This symbol needs to be downloaded or attuned 3 times. It's a stronger symbol as compared to the 3 that we already saw. It's a symbol that involves those 3 aspects: your physical aspect, Chokurei, your emotional aspect, Seihiki, and your spiritual aspect, the Honsha Sengshonen. So with only one symbol, now we don't have to download 3 symbols or to say, okay, this is an emotional problem, this is no, only one. But the attunement has to be done 3 times because it's a little bit stronger. And do you remember that when we start putting these, sometimes we have headache or sometimes we feel very tired and all this? I want to let you know that it's possible that after these Reiki lessons, we also feel like that, because we're going to change frequencies, to change vibrations. Why? Because we want to start conceiving the life with a wider perception. This is going to open us to another things. We're going to work a lot with the crown chakra and with the this is the 5th chakra, this is the 6th chakra with the 3rd eye. We're going to work a lot, especially with those 2 things. So in Reiki level 1 with the first symbol, or in Reiki level 2 with those other 3 symbols, we have sometimes feeling very tired and feeling something, no? Like dizzy or whatever. But with this one, is more the head, because it's going to come to break those thought patterns, That's where we are going to especially work. Most of you have been in this journey for at least 2 years or something. And for you, it's going to be a little bit easier. Oh, where are you? Here. But for the ones that are a little bit new and just the only spiritual approach, let's say, that you have done, like not religious, but really changing your personality and all that, is this one is going to be a little bit more difficult. What it is important is that you let me know, that we share that, okay? In the moment that you feel that this is too much or that you are feeling in this way. And it's important that you share it with the group because we're all together in this, okay? So what you're feeling maybe is going to be very important for another person because that person is feeling the same, or is going to teach or give valuable information for another person, because later if you decide to be teachers or to share Reiki with somebody, when somebody else comes to say, oh, because I am feeling this headache, you can say, don't worry, it is normal, it is a process. So whatever you would like to experience after receiving the attunement, it's important for the rest, okay? With this symbol, we're going to generate a field, an energetic field, that when you are awake in these other senses or feelings, you are going to be able to determine when you see a Reiki master or when you see a person that has this symbol in her aura. Is something that is going to be able to recognize, to identify how you feel it. And this energetic field prevents, every time that we are going to give Reiki treatment to another person, prevents like negative energy, like a field that protects you. But we always have to be humble. That's the condition when we receive this gift. We have to get to know that the Reiki energy that we're giving to others doesn't come from us. It comes from the universe. It comes from this Reiki energy. Remember the symbol Reiki, what it means? It means the clouds that come down like the rain to our energy, rise, the symbol of rise, which is the one that gives us energy, right? In our physical body. So it's not that I can heal you, it's not that I can save you, no. I can be an instrument to whatever you need to receive. And that comes from a different layer. And if it's your moment and you deserve it, you will have it. Healing is possible. Miracles are possible. But if there is something in you that it is not your time, that is not your moment, that is you have to live a lesson, then you're going to feel better off, relaxed, but maybe the healing is not going to occur because it is not in our hands to decide. Okay? So be humble. Don't manage expectations that are not real. Get to know that this is an intelligence force, that it is beyond our understanding, and that's with what we're dealing. So we're only the instrument. Be always very humble with that. And may happen that a person overcomes this field or this defense that we have, because that person has like a very strong energy, or because maybe you reduce your guard, or you reduce your immune system because of your thoughts of your emotions. Let's say that you are not in a good moment and you give a Reiki, and maybe you engage with the emotions of this person or with the state of this person. So if that person is very sad and everything, and you give the Reiki treatment, and at the end you feel also very sad, or the next 2 days you don't feel like in yourself, like there's something there, maybe we engage because we were not completely imbalanced. If we decide that we're going to give Reiki to other persons, it's very important that you do your daily meditations. Vipassana or Zen or whatever you want to choose, but you have to do daily meditation. It's the way that we can remain in balance. That's the first way of staying still when the others are collapsing. And if you feel bad for a reason when you give the Reiki treatment, or when you arrive to a place, so this doesn't only happen with the Reiki treatments, it happens with the daily life. Sometimes your energy goes down. Well, we have the responsibility of coming back to our centers. How we do it? With meditation. You can do it with exercise, you can do it with diet, you can do it whatever. There are many ways of doing it that we have seen them all, but come back to your center before continue helping others, because the first person that you need to help is yourself. If you're not centered, it's very difficult that you are able to help another person. We are humans, we can explain that to the others. Look, I feel like this, I feel like that, I can do this, I can do that, but be very sincere and honest with yourself. When you need your time, you have to be very compassionate with yourself if you want to be compassionate with others. And that's another way, accepting that sometimes we are not in our 100%, and that we need to do something to come back to that. All the time, be grateful for being able to use this energy of the universe. That's very important. Never think that we heal. Get to know that we have to be grateful with that force that is the one that performs the healing. Always be humble. Don't have expectations. Just allow the things to happen, and explain that to your customer, to your patient, to the person that you love. I will do this. Let's see if it's for you in this moment. Let's see how you feel, and later you let me know. And you're going to see sometimes miracles, as the same way sometimes you're going to see that the person say, no, I just feel relaxed, and that's it. Okay, good. Maybe that was what you needed today. Okay, I think I already said all this. So with this symbol, we're going to reach vibrations of different dimensions. Let's say it's a very high symbol. It's going to be something that connects us in a different way with the people. Get to know that every time that we give Reiki to somebody, this is a symbol of service. And that's why I'm telling you that we are connecting with people all the time. It's a symbol of service, because it's a symbol where we are not focused on us. Reiki level 1 and level 2, we were focused on me, on myself, healing myself, understanding myself, physically, mentally, emotionally. With Daikomio, we are going to open to feel others, to understand that that other person is also an aspect of myself, to serve others, to be in service is my moment of give in return to the universe all the blessings that the universe has given me. Is knowing that I can help. When somebody says, no, what we can do, they have a problem over there. No, there's something that you can do. So these vibrations are very subtle, are from higher dimensions. You become, if you're here, you're becoming a healer, a light worker. And be guided by your intuition. You will know where to act. You will know when you can give something to yourself. For example, recently, Mali asked me to send energy to her mom, or remember Sumi last year asked us to send energy to her dad, and all these. Now, obviously, we are here to support, and collectively we are stronger. And it's very good to feel that you are not alone, and to have this support in those moments. But know that with what you have learned, you can do it as well. Now we all can do it. And after you have this, you don't, o sea, we need the community for the support and to be stronger, but we all the time can do it, okay? That's important. Okay, knowing this, and with the daicomio, after you receive the daicomio, this other symbol, we start something that is called the Satori Path. We're going to see that during this level, the Satori Path. Before, there were concepts, before we were obviously acquiring things, but now Reiki, it's a way of living, or Satori Path is a way of living in where we want to be happy all the time. Just live in peace, be happy. How we do it? Not engaging with our emotions and not engaging with our thoughts. So we're going to learn to be a witness of it all the time. I'm witnessing what I'm thinking, I'm witnessing what I am feeling, I'm not engaging, until one day, those things that you are observing are not going to be two, which means the observer and the object that is being observed, they're not going to be two. They're going to be three. And that's that thing that Sumi was saying. But what is that thing that I have inside? Is it too inner? That third thing is your consciousness. When the consciousness awakes, you can see yourself observing what is observing, the object. There is this third thing that is witnessing the other two. There is something that happens inside yourself that you stop becoming two, a duality, the person that is looking this mouse. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to be paying attention to my thoughts. What do I think about this mouse? Okay, I'm thinking this. This is my judgment about it. And one day after I practice and practice this, there is a third thing. And I understand that I am, only I am. And there is a personality that is looking to this mouse. And there is this mouse. So we are three: the consciousness, the personality, and the object, or that situation, the reality. That's the goal of this Reiki level 3, or the goal in your life. To be that consciousness that doesn't judge, because you understand that the one that judges is the fake you, or the version of yourself in this reality, but that you are much more than that. Am I making myself clear? See?
Yes.
Do you have questions about this? This is important. I know that this is a little bit philosophical. Tell me, Barbara.
So you say the three things is the consciousness, the personality, and the object. With the object, what exactly do you mean? I didn't get that. With the object, what do you mean?
The object
thing
is
that
everything.
here-
The object is the situation that you're looking at. The object is the person that you're referring to. The object is the object that you can be seeing, you know.
Yes, okay.
The object is whatever is happening in that reality,
Exactly,
that
yeah.
with your 5 senses, you
can
make a judgment.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I get it. Yes. Thank you. Mhm.
And one day you understand that whatever that judgment it is just one way, because it is
Yes.
subjective. So my
Yes,
consciousness understands that because of my background and everything, I give that judgment. But
Yes.
Sumi, that is another universe, gives her own judgment. And Mali,
Yeah.
that is another universe, gives her own judgment. And then the reality is complemented with the judgment of Livia, Priyanka, Yolanda, Adriana, and nobody
Yes.
has the whole truth.
Yes,
Nobody.
exactly. Mm.
The truth is a construction of all the truths of all the different universes that exist.
Yes.
And one day we understand that not only humans, but the cat has his own truth. And it's true
Yeah.
because it's the way that he conceives the world.
Yes.
And remember that in Reiki level 1, we see that everybody has a different way of perceiving reality, and that animals, for example, that we see only in the scale of color, the spectrum of light, only the rainbow colors, remember?
Yes. Mhm.
But we also saw that, for example, cats can see infrared,
Mhm.
and that we can only listen certain hertz, but we know that the elephants listen in the hertz in a much more bigger spectrum. So they know that you're there way before you can see them, and they are huge. And remember that we saw that the dogs can smell meters away, and that the bears can smell kilometers away, so they know that you are there way before you can see them.
Mhm.
So their conception of reality is different, is wider, it is bigger than the one for us, because we're limited to what we can see and what we can hear. So our range of reality is small as compared to a bear that can sense the whole forest.
Exactly. Mhm.
So this is important, because if we understand that, we become even more humble. We are open to listen to the other person, because that person has part of the truth.
Mhm.
Maybe the way that you feel it and the way that you uh, lived it is not the only way possible. When you are open to that, when you open your mind to different possibilities, you stop suffering. Listen to this. This is very important. This is the Satori state, a person that doesn't suffer. The way that you conceive the reality is not the only way. There are many ways. And because I understand that maybe this is my interpretation, but I will look forward for different interpretations. Instead of saying, okay, this is the worst that can have happened to me, I will say, okay, this is an opportunity for learning. What can I learn? Only with that thought change, you have a different approach and a different chemistry inside your body.
Mhm.
Okay, this is very important. The Satori state is a state of neutrality, where you don't engage with your thoughts, where you don't engage with your emotions, because you don't judge the reality, because you understand that there are many ways, many perceptions of seeing it. Right now, everything is theory, but after we attune the symbol, this is going to start happening little by little, class by class. So it's a journey, it's a process, but that's the goal and that's the target. And as long as you have it clear, and if your mind accepts it as something possible, we can reach it. Okay. Okay, so that's the Satori state
How
proposed
do
by
you spell
Usui.
it? What is it called? The state
Satori. Satori.
S-A.
Satori. I'm going to share here the screen.
Hmm.
Let me see.
Okay, I just need to change the location of my computer. I'm just
Okay,
gonna
go
go
ahead.
off screen for a second.
State, and it is, remember that Mikao Usui was the master of Reiki. Remember that he was the one that downloaded the symbols.
Adriana, I have this book here from Reiki, and there it says, for example, the master symbol represents enlightenment, the realization of your true self.
Exactly. When you reach enlightenment, when you don't suffer for the
Yes.
things of this world, that's
Yeah.
enlightenment. Being in balance all the time.
Yeah, exactly. When you end up in the nirvana.
Exactly. The nirvana seems like a very far away state, but it is actually not that far away. We have moments in which we are like kids, that we are able to enjoy completely the present moment.
Yeah.
And if we are able to live in that way, the nirvana is very near.
Mm.
So that's what the Satori state, that's what we want to reach. Here it's called Satori, in Buddhism it's called Nirvana, For the Ascended Master, it's called enlightenment. Others call it illumination, but it all means the same. It's a different state from the state that we live now.
Yes.
Okay, so
Adriana, I have one question.
yes.
I mean, all this talk, I think I wanted to even ask it in the Reiki too, but I forgot. I mean, I just wonder, like, if being connected to knowing who we really are, and then so many things sometimes. Sorry, because I need to charge my phone. So many things sometimes people do to, like, say past life regression and stuff, and how it helps them heal. I just wonder then, why is the universe or God designed the universe in such a way that why do we have to forget everything when we come to this earth? Like, if we kind of knew that this is the lesson we are supposed to learn, this is the pattern we are supposed to break, because once we start doing that, anyway, we start becoming better human beings and, all of that, then why do we have to forget everything?
Do you remember in Talks with Adri, I explained this? Coming to Mother Earth is an opportunity for our soul to evolve. And that's why many souls want to come to Mother Earth. So, but there are some conditions. So you can come to Mother Earth to learn, to have a physical experience, because we usually are beings without a physical body. And in this physical experience, there are some advantages. You can really feel the things. You can experience the reality physically, that it is not something that you have out there. So it sounds very attractive. But at the same time, you can, if you don't maintain the balance, you're going to be dominated by those feelings, by those emotions. And then you lose the test of life. You lose the proof, like you didn't pass. What is the goal of our lives? To maintain the connection with the source during all our life. If you live a life connected with the source, which means in balance, which means in health, which means getting to know that there is something wider than us, there is a mind, a mastermind in the universe that connects us all. And if you live all your life with that, in alignment with that, you pass that test of your life. If you engage in your thoughts and your emotions, you collapse. You lose the battle. You haven't lost the war, but you lose the battle. So you have to pass every circumstance, pass every challenge, every obstacle in this path of life with resilience. No? If you fell down, you stand up and you stand up and you continue your journey. You continue your journey. You go back on track. You come back to center. You continue into the path and not out with the distractions that we have. So that's why, what is the goal? Dominate your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts. If you dominate them, or if you ignore them, whatever the path you choose, you are the master of your destiny. And you don't have to reincarnate again. So those are the conditions of being part of this school of Mother Earth. Feel and think. But don't go too deep into that, because that is also your imprisonment. There is a very subtle line where your ego dominates you, or where you are aware that the ego exists. We don't judge it, we let it be, we accept it. But I know I'm so much more. I'm something greater, something else than that. So the ego is my ally. The ego is the one that helps me in this reality to understand my greatness. So I like to understand. the idea is not to fight with the ego, that is also the personality. The idea is to comprehend that the ego is limited and that we are not limited. That means that I need to reach a point in which I don't identify with my ego. And that's when I become consciousness. That's the third one involved in this. Did I make myself clear?
Yeah.
Okay. This is very philosophical. Actually, for thousands of years, different gurus, humanity, ascended masters have discussed this that I am just telling you in a couple of minutes. So it is more transcendental than what I'm explaining it, but that's the way I understand it. Yes, Barbara.
So the ego is at the end something positive, right?
In the world of duality, yes. Conceiving it
Exactly.
with your personality, yes, because the personality needs to give a label. It has to be positive or negative. When you see it
Yes.
with consciousness, the ego just is.
Exactly. Mhm.
Is
It has a
there
function.
for a reason. Exactly. It has a
Yeah.
function.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And is to let you know your limitations.
Exactly.
But then I say, I am not limited, so I am not it. And then I become this third thing.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yes.
I want to read this of Mikao Usui because Mikao Usui is going to teach us the Satori state, how he achieved the Satori state, and what is the idea? To find the purpose in life, understanding why we have to live our past. So, like something that I reached with Reiki level 3. I failed, I didn't reach enlightenment. But it made me open my perspective in many different ways. For example, I condemned or I used to judge many things that happened in my life. For example, I said I had a conflict of when I started being an expat and all that to abandon my career and like feeling that I didn't like fulfill the purpose because why did I study and why did I all do this and now I am just like at home. So I had that conflict in my mind. That is a common conflict among women sometimes, but it is not a real conflict. It's a subtle conflict, something that it is only etheric. Um, and then after Reiki level 3, I understood that I had to leave that to come back to my main purpose. And my main purpose is what I'm doing right now, is teaching this. But if I didn't leave that, I was never going to study this, learn this, embrace it, and be able to now teach it. So Satori gives you, and actually this new symbol that we're going to put, the daikomiyo, gives you a different perspective. See the things from another side, like a wider understanding of the things that you lived. It
Adri,
helps you. Yes?
sorry to interrupt, sir. I will have to leave today. I need to go pick up girls. Please send the recording, Adri.
Okay, no problem. Yes.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry.
Take care. Don't worry. So this is clear. It's something that will help you to understand why you lived those things that you have lived without judgment. Can be positive, can be negative, but there is always a reason for what you face. So Mikao Usui says, Usui Sensei persecuted and sought the answer to the universal proposal of finding the goal of life. Another thing that I understood with this symbol, there is not only one goal of life. My goal of life at this time is one. When I was young, it was another one. For example, when I was a kid, maybe my goal was to give happiness to my family or to have my family united. Now that I'm older, my goal of life maybe is give what I have learned to others, serve in that way, and love my family, take care of them, nourish them, protect them, etc. So we have different goals and are not goals of the ego. My purpose in life is not to become a lawyer at all. Maybe that is something that had to happen in order for me to really fulfill my goals in service to others. For example, defend a customer or help somebody to recuperate her home, whatever. Those are my purposes in life. But my purpose in life is not to become a lawyer. That's a purpose of the ego. And remember that we are transcending the ego with this. So the purposes in your life are those places, moments, stages in your life where you can serve others. You came here to serve. What is going to matter at the end of your life is in which ways you serve humanity, Mother Earth, nature, whatever you work for, the desire of your heart. So Usui Sensei sought the answer to the universal proposal of finding the goal of life through the Satori state. The final goal of life is to reach enlightenment, at least for humans, in which it is unified with the consciousness of the superior being. So as I was explaining, Mali, what is the purpose of life? Being connected to the source, being with God, being in consciousness of the superior being in Mother Earth, with our limitations, with the limitations of humans, which are emotions or feelings and thoughts. Here I'm going to quote Dr. Usui, what he says. Know your destiny, experience the truth in a conscious way and in an absolute bliss, and keep calm without worrying too much about anything is the final goal. All these, in summary, is be happy. What is your final goal? Is to be happy. How we are going to be happy? Living in absolute bliss, being calm, not worry about anything. And if you reach to do that, which is paying attention to your thoughts and to your emotions, then you get to know your destiny, and then you experience the final truth, which is this connection with the source. In other words, you live in consciousness. Okay, so this is the purpose of Mikao Usui. And then we're going to see here, I forgot to change here the title, it's in Spanish, but it doesn't matter. He's going to say that my mind is a small universe, and it has to be integrated and unified with the natural rule of the great cosmos. The entire universe exists in my interior, and I am the universe and I am part of it. I am in the universe and I am part of it. So this has to do with what I was explaining, that each of us has an inner world, remember? And that we are connected with it at the same time. And in order to really find the truth, we need to all put our little sand grain or sand dot. That's how we build the creation, with the integration of all our perceptions. We are part of the world, a very important one. Without our part of the puzzle, it cannot be completed. But we only can see the whole puzzle if we include the perspective of all the others. Okay? So according to how it is the brain and the connections, it is how it is the electric network of Mother Earth and of the whole universe. So we are all interconnected in an electric way, Okay, and here I put the symbol of double happiness. This is a symbol that the Chinese culture puts, Mikao, so it was Japanese, just to clarify that, but this is a Chinese symbol that they put when they get married. It's the symbol is 2 times the symbol of happiness. So when I get married, I am like double happy because I complete one of my lucks. They have the 4 different lucky charms or way of being lucky, and one is when they find love. So all these, what I'm telling you about the Satori state, it sounds very beautiful, and it has to do a lot with your consciousness, with controlling the thoughts, the emotions, but you cannot reach the Satori state if you don't open your heart. The Satori state is built with compassion. Compassion starting with whom? With yourself. Only if I understand that I am not there yet, if I have patience with myself, if I treat myself like a little child, getting to know that I have a lot of things to learn, that I can make mistakes, that all this is possible in my learning process, I will one day reach this double happiness. Okay? So this is the guide to the Reiki healing method. The first one, or living in a Reiki way, which is something that I was trying to explain. The first thing is that everything that exists in the universe has Reiki energy. Everything. Even though if it's a furniture, even though if it's a portrait, everything has Reiki energy. Everything is made of the elements of the element period of the element table. Everything is made of protons, electrons, neutrons. Everything has Reiki energy. And it has even more Reiki energy or more life if it is more natural. The more connected to the source, more energy it has. So that's why I can receive energy from the trees, I can receive energy from the air, from the sun, from the fire, from a friend, from my house, from everything I receive energy. And I give energy to everything as well. Second, the healing method is based on universal life energy. So, as I was explaining, we have to be humble because we don't heal. What heals is that energy that I am only the channel to give it. The third thing is that the healing is both spiritual and physical. So sometimes you receive a patient and that person comes and at the end that person only receives a relaxation. Okay, that was what you needed. Sometimes just relax and let go will put you in a different position to be able to have a clear mind, to be able to set up your emotions and say, oh, maybe I don't have to suffer too much about this. 4, although the healer emits energy and light from all his body, we have special points such as the eyes, the hands, and the breath, the mouth, to give the energy, okay? We have these special places where we are going to channel the energy out. Is used to contribute to human health strength, having good thoughts and moderate ideas, and enjoying life. That's the purpose of Reiki, remember. Make the other person enjoy life. Why you're not enjoying the life right now? Because you are too engaged with your emotions, or because you are too engaged in your thoughts, and you cannot see the good things outside. So that's the purpose of Reiki. Center the person, come back to balance, and allow that person to enjoy life. 6, the objective of this method is to heal the mind, the body, reach happiness, joy, peace, and obviously help others. So that's the mission. And let's review quick the 5 principles again.
Sorry, Adriana, can you go back for 10 seconds, please, quickly?
Yes.
Thank you.
You can also
So I'm just
sometimes,
writing it down.
yeah, don't worry. sometimes writing down helps you to remember them, but sometimes what I do is also I make a print screen so you can save them in your phone or in your computer.
I'll take a quick photo now. Sorry. Okay, thanks. Got it.
No problem. Let me know when you're done.
No, I've taken a photo. Thank you.
Okay, so here we have the 5 principles. Just for today, I think we already mentioned that, and it is the importance of living in the present moment. And in the present moment, how? In consciousness. So like only living the present is not enough. Living the present, knowing that my thoughts and my emotions are shaping my reality, are shaping my body. Today is the accumulation of each moment. So like when we say today, as we were talking with Yolanda, is right now. Where? In this place. Not with my mind in Rwanda or in South Africa. No, I am in Bogota. An acceptance and being thankful or grateful for whatever it comes. Remember, in acceptance, just for today, grateful, accepting what I have to live, not judging the reality, not saying, I hate this illness or my condition, or I hate this place, or I don't like my job, or I don't like the quarantine, the COVID. No, it is what it is. And remember that we are warriors and we need to pass through this in the best way we can. Let's not judge. Let's accept what it is, how it is, without wanting to change it, but just living in the best way, taking the decisions right here, right now. The second one, as you know, is don't get angry. Anger hurts us and hurts the others so much. We never forget how the others makes us feel. Let's have that very clear. The more self-centered that a person is, or the more self-centered that we can be, the more easily we tend to change our mood. That is something that we have to have very clear. If you are a very a person that changes from being angry to being worried, is because we are completely centered in us, in our ego. We're not having an open mind to listen to the other, to get to know that the things can be seen in a different perspective. Is the more self-centered we are, the more limited we are. We are not seeing all the possibilities that are outside. We are in the cage of our thoughts and our emotions. We are imprisoned in this inner world. If we keep feeling anger, resentment, or hatred, that will end up destroying us. How? With the cycle that we just explained. With the cycle of nervous system and endocrine system. And get to know that you can control it. So we have different things. We have the anchor, remember? I am in peace. Sometimes only with your intention of saying, I am not going to continue angry. So I know this really makes me angry. I was expecting from you that you behave different, or that you don't do that, or whatever. Is my moment of reflection. Why I'm feeling like that? Because I don't accept that that person can be like that. Why I don't accept it? Because I am so self-centered. I have to accept it. That person can be stubborn, stupid, whatever. It's my judgment, my judgment. But that person had a reason to behave like that or to act like that. And that reason is what I am not seeing. I am limited to see her perception because of my anger. But in the moment that I put down my anger and I say, okay, why did you do that? And in the moment that reasoning, I can understand his perspective, his point of view, I don't need to feel angry anymore because you understood. So angry is a stubbornness. Angry is a stupidity, is self-centered, is a cage, is a limitation. Get open to see why that person showed up later. Get to know why that person couldn't do her homework on time. Get to know why that person did it wrong. And you are going to see that person with compassion. That person did it wrong because that person perhaps didn't have the opportunities that you have of your education. So that person is never going to do it in the way that you do it because you had more opportunities and that person didn't. So when you understand that, we see things with compassion. Or because that person just thinks different. And it's the way that the divine expresses himself in that person. So if I want to be connected with the divine, I have to accept everything. Because everywhere is that God, goddess, life force, life source in everything. In the moment that I don't accept it, I am denying it. I am disconnecting from it. The third one. Well, if you have any questions about this, just ask me, okay? We have seen these principles many times, but the idea is that every time we go a little bit deeper. Do not worry. When I stop worrying, when I trust the universe 100%. When I'm able to give everything to the hands of that great cosmos. That's the moment where I stop worrying. Meanwhile, I still believe that I can be in control of everything. I will always worry. But when I am humble enough to understand that I can't control anything, but that I can trust that whatever it happens is for my highest good, I will not worry. This is clear? Livia, some questions? I see you.
Adri, can you just go to the previous page? There was somebody at the door, so I missed that whole page. I'll just take a print screen.
Okay. Livia, what were you saying? What do you have in mind?
No, I understand. So yes, I'm taking notice. It's very important. That's something you know, but sometimes when a situation happen in your life and you just I try my best, but sometimes it's difficult to not be angry, to not worry. So, but I'm trying.
Yes. What we're doing here is giving reasons, no, for us to be able to have that responsibility. I'm not going to say that after you pass Reiki level 3 and Reiki level 4, you're never going to become angry again. No, because we're still humans. We are going to become angry and to worry, but now we have more knowledge. We have a wisdom that says, come back to your center. This is not helping me out at all. With the worry and with the anger, I don't solve the situation and I do become sick. So what is my responsibility? Because remember, meanwhile we have this costume of human beings, feelings are something that are going to occur to us. That's the condition of living this physical body. They are going to happen. But how I handle them is what matters. The quickest that I get out of my negative states makes me more consciousness. Consciousness doesn't mean that you don't have the feeling. You're going to have the feeling, but you're going to be able to manage it. And after you're able to manage it, you're going to be able to don't engage, to just observe it. It's happening. I feel that I have the anger. I feel that I have it in my stomach. I let it go. I'm not going to stay with it. I'm not going to put attention to it. Until one day, you don't feel it. But that is a process. The point here is that we are going to feel the worry, we're going to feel the anger, we're going to feel the sadness, but we have to get out of it as soon as possible. Why? because we're able to detect it. We're able to know that I'm feeling here and know that I have the responsibility of get out of here, come back to my balance, because staying here doesn't make me any good. And that we already know. So that's the starting point. Oh, and I put here Eckhart Tolle because if you have the time as a complementary lecture, I would like that you read his book, The
Power of Now.
The Power of the Now. Yes. Sí, El Poder de la Hora. The Power of Now. If you have the time, it's very good. If you read it already, it is also going to bring you many insights. I like him because he's modern. There are many persons that have write about the present in history. You know, we have some of the Veda scripts. We have many persons, ascended masters, Saint Germain, that have write about the power of now. But Eckhart Tolle puts it in a modern context. So it's something for us to apply. So if you want to read it,
you can apply in your daily life. He gave us many examples in our daily life. It's very good. It's very good lecture.
Exactly. So if you want and if you have the time, please do it, and you can share ideas in this class about it. The other 3 principles: be grateful, something that we have just seen many times, and it is this feeling that emits such a high vibration that puts you in a different level of consciousness. You are in a better point after you do gratitude. And scientifically, it has been proven. It changes. Remember that we saw the brain waves? Gratitude and meditation changes your brain from beta to alpha. So it is the easiest way of getting out of these negative states. The 5th is work hard with honesty and integrity. This is the one that I just changed for do your best. And I also would like to suggest for the ones that have little children and especially daughters to see Frozen 2. Anna, when she loses her sister, Elsa, she's like, and what I do next? So she's suffering so much because she lost the only family she has, her sister. And it comes to her mind, do the next right thing. What can I do when I have lost everything? Do the next right thing. Do your best. And then she saves the movie and the dam and everything. So if you have the chance to watch the movie, it has a lot of philosophical background. It includes the 5 elements. So it is. Watch it. Okay. So people learn and grow through practice their daily work. Oh, what I have, sometimes you think that you should be a lawyer in court or a doctor in the Mount Sinai hospital in the United States, and you would like to be, I don't know, a monk in the Tibet, whatever, but you are not there. You are at your home or you are at your work. That's the life that you have to be. So do it in the best way. That's where you're going to get the lessons of your life. And do it to your best, to your maximum capacity, with honesty, because all these will make you feel satisfied and you will have no regrets and you will feel proud of yourself. And those 3 things are keys for happiness: not having regrets, living in calm, and being proud of yourself. Okay? It gives you willpower, it gives you self-esteem, it gives you happiness. And the 6th, be kind to your neighbor and to every way of life. Just be kind with everything. Respect life in all forms. Now the pandemia has teach us that we need to work together. If only one person takes care of herself, it doesn't work. We all have to take care of everybody. No, we are waiting for this shepherd effect. The society works with mutual support, and it works with compassion, with understanding. Sometimes we have to give up many of our ego limitations in order to live collectively, but we have a better income at the end. So let's try not to stand in our point, in our comfort zone. Let's be open for the benefit of all, and with a smile and with heart, being centered in our heart. And that's how everything in the universe and in the nature works, with a natural support of each other. With the practice of Reiki, we stop being selfish and we start respecting nature, because we understand we're part of it. Something that we learn when we open our crown chakra is that we are interconnected with everything that it is. This we have shared in different lessons, and it is that sense of completion, of wholeness, of being one with everything. And when you understand that, you're very compassionate with the rest. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you. And let me see. We don't have time for our meditation today, but can I kindly ask you to do it at home? Yes, please. Let's start doing meditations, because we have to come back to manage the energy of this group, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I could see during the holidays, I mean, though we were here and not really much play dates and stuff like that, but I wasn't regularly doing my whatever mindfulness practices. By the end of the second week, I was like, I could feel like I needed to get back to center.
Mm-hmm.
So then, on Monday I started again too.
Good.
No, Adri, I did a lot actually, because I had gone to we went to Namibia for a holiday, and it was just a place which got me to meditate. It was the
Okay.
place.
Yes.
So even on holiday, which it's a shock to myself, I was meditating, and I
Mhm.
did a lot of vipassana. I used to go for a walk. I used to find 20 minutes and just walk, and I used to do vipassana breathing. So it was, I don't
Great.
know. Yes, yeah, and
Connected.
on holiday, like that's a first.
Oh yeah, Adri, just wanted to share. I tried to do one. Like I went for some hikes and walks, obviously during the holidays. So I tried to do it more mindfully, like in the vipassana state of mind.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was interesting. I don't know. It was like after a while, and I felt like things just started appearing a little blurry. And yeah, I felt more lightheaded after it. But yeah.
Okay, good. Yes. No, definitely. And that each of us do it is very important, because we are a group. And
Yeah.
the contribution, every time that you have the intention of being a better person, it helps the whole group. Actually, it helps humanity, but for us, it's going to be more tangible. So please do your meditation, and see you next Wednesday.